What's up, guys, and welcome to the first episode of CM Radio. This is a podcast that I want to do on a weekly basis that is going to cover fitness, motivation, and just lifestyle in general. So if you're listening to this through SoundCloud, I appreciate it very much, and I appreciate the listen. But if you prefer to consume your podcast through video format, you can actually go over to my YouTube channel, which is just Connor Mooney. I'm actually recording this for YouTube as well, so whichever one you want to listen to. If you're driving in the car and you can't really watch, stay safe, then maybe this would be the better option. But I find that I kind of consume more podcasts through video format than I actually do through SoundCloud or any other sort of audio media. Fun fact about me. But anyway, so today we're going to be covering something that I think is very important. Now, I've been training for about 5 to 6 years in terms of like weightlifting, and I've actually been training and taking it seriously maybe the last 2 to 3 years. And as a new beginner, well, as an experienced lifter, I'd like to think I'm certainly experienced now. There's a few things that I have learnt now which would have massively benefited me, and I wish that I knew when I first started training, because when I first started working out, it was in 2011, like early 2011, and that was just like at-home workouts, push-ups, sit-ups. When I got into college and started doing my level 2 fitness instructor qualification, which was in about 2013, the only real source of like the resources that I had back then was YouTube and like sort of Mike Chang's YouTube channel and just crappy articles online, which, as you can tell now, are not the most reliable of sources. So a lot of the information, a lot of the knowledge that I have now is just through trial and error, stuff that I've learned, stuff that I've picked up along the way. And now that YouTube and social media and the fitness game is a lot bigger now than it was back then, it's easier to sort of find this information, which benefits you new lifters a lot, or if you're new to fitness, it benefits you a great deal. So today I'm going to cover 6 topics that, well, 6 sort of, we'll say topics, 6 points that I wish that I knew when I first started training, which would have massively benefited me in the beginning. But we all got to make mistakes and sort of do the trial and error and get into them as we do. Now, these are going to go from just setting your goals to lifestyle to dealing with sort of how to get into this fitness world, because a lot of us have a different reason to getting into this. And this is sort of my first point, is you have to know why you're doing this. You have to know what the end goal is and what relevance and what importance you're putting on these goals you set. So when I was a personal trainer 3 years ago, one thing I would always do is sit my clients down and I'd ask them, what's your end goal, or what are some goals you'd like to achieve? And then I would ask them to put sort of forces or just sort of reasons behind them. So one of my clients was a mum. She was a little bit overweight, and one of her goals was to lose weight. So I was like, why is the reason? What is that why? And she sort of gave that goal a meaning herself, and it was to just be more active with her kids. So you need to know what your end goal is so you can get that reason why. Why are you doing this? If you want to lose weight, why do you want to do it? Is it for health reasons? Is it because you want to be more active with your family? Maybe you just want to be more active in yourself. You want to do marathons and sort of do long runs, or you just want to be able to walk up the stairs or walk up a hill without being out of breath. Or maybe if you want to build muscle, like in my case, I was a very skinny 12-year-old, and this was only like a year ago. But I was a very skinny kid, so, and I'm short, I'm 5'3", and I haven't grown since I was 16. So back then, I felt bad in myself because I was a small guy. So my reason was I wanted to get big so I could ultimately get women, to get girls. I think that's why a lot of us males go to the gym in the first place. So my reason behind it was I wanted to look better in myself. But then as I got into fitness and I started getting a passion for it and got really involved into it, my reason changed from sort of that selfish reason to improving me as a person, and not just, I want all this extrinsic motivation. I kind of want it to make myself feel better. I don't really care about anything else now. And then it was just the case of that I actually enjoyed it. But we need to know these reasons why, mainly for the sheer fact, again, because you need to be able to keep that motivation going. So say 6 to 8 weeks down the line, if you are falling off the track, or you're falling off the wagon, or you're not doing very well, it's important to remember the why of why you started this, because then you can think back. Why did I start this? Why do I want to lose weight? Why am I not eating as much? Why am I skipping meals with my friends just to lose weight? It's because I ultimately want to feel better in myself. I want to be healthier. I want to live long enough to see my kids grow up. I want to be active with my kids, and that is a powerful emotion that you can use to push you on to heights that you didn't even think were possible for yourself. So that is one thing I would always say. No matter what you're doing, take a minute, just take a list. Okay, if you're thinking about losing weight, fair enough, amazing. Or you're thinking of building muscle, or you're just thinking about being athletic or living a healthier lifestyle, sit down, take 5 minutes, write 3 to 4, 5 reasons why you want to do this, give them all a meaning, and you'll be surprised of kind of how you reflect on yourself, because you're giving them meanings, you're giving these goals meanings in themselves, and that makes them a lot more powerful than just being plain goals. But they are important, because having these goals does give you that sort of endpoint. You can say you want to sort of live longer or be a bit healthier, but okay, well, let's assign that to a goal, so you have a target to hit, and that makes it a bit more enjoyable for you, and it also makes it fun, because at the end of the day, it needs to be fun, it needs to be enjoyable, but having that sort of, that main drive behind it is, for me, would have been massively important. But we evolve in our reasons why, and our goals, and why we start everything. Like I said, mine was a sort of selfish and a sort of big-headed and unmodest version of starting weightlifting, but because of that, I'm now where I'm at now, and I'm better for it. So always get them down. But that does bring me on to the second point, and that's the mindset and the fact that it is a lifestyle change. Now, when I see on Instagram mainly, I see all these posts about like I'm going on a diet, or fad diets, or there's people that do these like 8 to 9 week cleanses. 8 to 9 week cleanses, more like 30 days, a month or a month and a half cleanses, and it baffles me. And especially when people say they're going on a diet, and for the sheer fact that if you're going on a diet, you're bound to come off that diet eventually, and you're going to go back to eating the foods you were, and having the habits, falling back into the habits that you were doing in the first place. So you're just going to end up in the place that you were at the start. You've made all this progress just to sort of go back and revert back. So when we think of a diet, we think of maybe 16 weeks of cutting out all the foods we like, not going out for meals, not drinking, not doing anything enjoyable with our friends. And as soon as them 16 weeks is up and we've lost a fair amount of weight, it's, okay, I'm off my diet now. And then a lot of people go back to eating what they were eating. So if you're eating 2,500, 3,000 calories a day, you go on a diet that restricts you down to 1,500 to 2,000, and then you go back to eating 2,500 to 3,000, and you're doing no exercise, and you fall back into the old habits, well, you're going to put on all the weight again. So you need to think of it not as a short-term process. It needs to be a long-term lifestyle change, and that's the key point, lifestyle change. So rather than, unless you're prepping for a competition where you need, I stress need, to go on a 16-week diet, then it doesn't matter. If this is just a lifestyle change for you, it's just choosing the healthier options. Maybe don't have a takeout every single night, but maybe one every 2 weeks is completely fine for the average person. That's amazing. If you're training for 3 to 4 times a week and having a takeaway once every 2 weeks, so you're going out once every 2 weeks, then that's fine. That's moderation. And that's another key word, moderation. Everything needs to be in moderation. You don't have to restrict it. You don't have to go out for a meal and stick to having a salad and plain chicken and then skipping out on a dessert. Fuck it. No. If you want to go out, and this is the powerful thing about macros. I'm going to leave, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to leave a video in the description about flexible dieting and sort of the basics of understanding macros. And this is, if you don't know what they are, it's just a way of manipulating your calories. So stuff like this, going out for meals, having cakes and chocolates and Pop-Tarts, is doable while still maintaining a healthy lifestyle and, in some cases, losing weight. So that's going to be in the description. Check that out below. But if you want to go out and have this sort of stuff, that's fine. Just don't do it every single night. If you want to go out for a drink with your friends, then fine, that's amazing. I'm currently preparing for a show. I'm nearly 6 weeks into it. I'm 5 weeks and 4 days into it. And about a week and a half ago, I went to the pub with a few friends and come home and ended up ultimately eating way more than I should have, but I'm still making progress. I'm still doing it. That's not going to happen every single week. If it did, I'd be screwed. But doing that in moderation, even like me, if you're on a contest prep, it's doable. Like, you can do it. But for the average person that isn't looking to do a contest, that is just looking to lose weight or be a bit healthier, or even just getting into this lifestyle change, you don't have to have a goal of losing weight, or you don't have to have a goal of building muscle. Your goal could just be, I want to be in this industry. Well, not this industry, but you want to enter this world and sort of change your mindset, because that is what it's gonna take. The more you go on these fad diets and these short-term diets, the more you're gonna. It's a self-destructive path. You're cutting out so much, and it's unsustainable. And that is another key one with this healthier lifestyle is sustainability. What can you sustain? Now, you can't go your whole entire life eating chicken, rice, and broccoli, losing weight forever, and then continuously eating that to maintain that weight. No. Say, for example, you on a Sunday you're going to have a few friends. Well, fantastic. The whole entire week, Monday to Sunday, don't eat anything shit. Just don't. Put more effort into the gym, and then that way when you get to Sunday, you don't have to have this guilty this feeling of guilt that you're doing this and it's a bad thing. And that's another one. Guilt is another big thing that when I was a personal trainer, that I would hear a lot. It was a word that was thrown around, and it's a negative mindset. Well, it's a negative word that triggers a negative mindset, because if you do screw up say if you're trying to lose weight and you do screw up, well, it's not the end of the world. Just the next day, a lot of people, and I know people that do this now, that will lower their calories drastically or do more cardio in the gym, and they'll just completely fuck themselves over. And it's all to do with guilt. No, don't feel guilty. If you had a shit day, you had a shit day. Just the next day, get back on it and act as if nothing happened. Just don't keep doing them. But that's what it needs to take. Don't expect yourself to be able to stick to a diet like that. If you have got a personal trainer or you are following a diet, anything like that, and you genuinely don't need to lose that much weight relatively quickly, then pie it off, because you don't need it. Just start making healthier choices. Instead of going into Tesco's or your local supermarket and picking up the 17% beef, pick up the 5%. It's got less fat in it, it's got a bit more protein, it's just a little bit healthier. Instead of going for the full fat yogurts, go for the sort of Greek light. They're still amazing tasting. Instead of going for the Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Halo Top. Jesus, Halo Top's something we started doing in the UK or Europe recently. It's been in America for years, and it's incredible. 350 calorie ice cream. Everyone, 99% of people, unless you are like 12 and your BMI does not allow you to do it, anyone can fit in a tub of ice cream every single night. I mean, last week I think I had 3 tubs of ice cream, and I'm a kilo down this week than I was last week, so you can fit foods in like this. And this isn't written down, but it's something that I want to touch on quickly, and it's just the relationship with foods. A lot of people don't go near cakes, crisps, chocolate bars, anything chocolate, Pop-Tarts, pastries, because they assume that food will make you gain weight or is unhealthy for you. Technically, nothing is unhealthy for you, because everything, unless it's like McDonald's, it has a bunch of trans fats and it's massively processed, then it's going to be bad for you. But the majority of stuff is not. It's all about moderation. If you have a tub of ice cream once a week and you're healthy throughout the rest of it, that's fine. If you have a tub of ice cream every single day and you go over your calories, well, that's not so good. That's not amazing. And that's not to contradict the point I just made, saying that you could have a tub of ice cream every single day. Stay within your calories, then you're fine. But don't have that fear relationship with foods. Certain foods, chocolate spreads and shit like this, are going to make you gain weight or unhealthy for you. Have them in moderation. I think my breakfast at the moment, something that I'm absolutely in love with, is chocolate spread on toast. Every single morning, I have it without fail, and it's amazing. It's sort of that sweet tooth in the morning, completely cures that sort of craving that you get. So change your mindset, make sure this is a lifestyle change and you're not just doing this for the short term, because I can guarantee you now, you will make progress, but you'll take 2 steps back and like 100 steps. 2 steps forward and 100 steps back. That's what I meant to say. My English is terrible today. Okay, so the third point is the isolation and temptations that you're going to get. Now, these coincide with each other because when you are on this sort of fitness journey and you're traveling around it, I don't know what I'm talking. When you get into fitness, if your support group is not as into it as you are, so when I first started, luckily, my brother was training for the army, and this is how I really got into fitness. My brother was training for the army. He did a lot of at-home workouts. I saw it, wanted to get involved with it. So my support network was him, and it was amazing. Every single night we'd train, and he'd keep me accountable, and that was amazing. But then when I started actually training in a gym, and this is maybe like 2-3 years ago, because I used to train with someone in the gym, but then he fucked off to Australia for a year and left me stranded. But as soon as that happened, I sort of realised that none of my friends were into the gym as much as I was. They'd go to the gym, but they weren't as into the gym as I was. I'm sort of a freak when it comes to it. It being what I want to do as a career, what my passion is, and their passions are other things, hanging out with each other, gaming, stuff like this. They just didn't coincide. That left me feeling very lonely in the sense that I would be spending a lot of time on myself and not so much on everyone else. And you need to find a balance between it, because yeah, it was good that I was making progress and I was bettering myself, but you also do need to have that sort of social interaction, that social life still. But the sort of isolation comes from them not understanding your decisions. So when I first started it and I first started tracking macros and I wanted to lose a bit of weight and lean down, I went out for a meal, or I'd be weighing, this came from my parents, specifically my dad. Whenever I'd weigh food out at home to track macros, it would always be like a sarky comment, and it's nothing bad. I mean, we all make them, but he didn't understand why I was doing this. And when I was asking for like leaner chicken and stuff like that, and the healthier food you get are more expensive. That's the downfall of living this lifestyle. Not by a massive amount, but in my opinion, if you're not willing to do this because of it costing £20 extra a month on certain foods, then you're already fucked in it as it is. But unless you're dangerously low on money, then you can make it work. But I should really say that. I mean, if cost is something that is affecting you, then it means your head's not really in the game, because chances are you are spending that money somewhere else. I spend £20-30 a month on monsters. Yeah, I wouldn't pay £25 for a new top that I saw on River Island the other day. It makes no sense. It's human nature's fucking weird. But yeah, so he would always make a sarcastic comment and he wouldn't understand. My mum wouldn't understand. My sister kind of had an idea of it. She sort of watched the fitness YouTubers that I did, which massively helped. My brother was obviously into it, him being in the army, but my friends weren't, and they're who I spent a lot of time around. So at home, I had no one understanding why I was weighing food out, why I was doing this, and it kind of made me feel bad about myself. And this almost tempted me not to bother, because I cared about what other people thought. Now, fast forward 3 years, I genuinely don't give a fuck. I live with 4 other people, one of which is my brother, but the others aren't. And they have their friends, their family come around all the time, and I'm in the kitchen weighing food out, and they're kind of giving me weird looks. And it's at the point now where I don't care. This is what I want to do. This is my lifestyle. And I'm glad I'm better now for doing it. But I was always tempted to sort of slip back into that. Well, I'm people are giving me weird looks. Well, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to. It makes me feel a bit down about myself. And I think it's important when moments like this happen. Again, take back to the first point. What are your goals? Why are you doing this? What's the reason why? What is your why? That's the one big thing. But again, like I said in the second point as well, you can moderate things, so you don't have to not spend time with your friends or not go out for meals with your family. You can do it in moderation, don't do it all the time. And this will kind of help the fact that even though your support group may not be 100%, Like mine still isn't now. I mean, I have a lot of friends now that I'm a lot more into the fitness world than I was back then. It's a lot easier for me now, because I know sort of the areas to go in to get this support. When you're first starting out, it's not really there for you. So just keep at it. Just stick to what you're doing, and eventually you just will learn to not give a fuck, or people will learn to just not give a fuck about it. Easiest way of saying it, but that was my case. Just whenever you do feel this sort of isolation, just make an effort to do something socially, but it doesn't mean you have to eat crap food or binge every single day. It's just about sort of feeling that connection with other people and not feeling so alone doing this, because again, it's sustainability. You can't not go. You can't go without seeing your friends, family, or going out forever, because then what's the point? The whole idea of this fitness thing is to fit this around your lifestyle and not your lifestyle around this. That's the mistake that I made, and that's a mistake a lot of people make, is they try and fit their life around going to the gym. And unless you're a serious bodybuilder, which guarantee 99.9% of you aren't out there, unless you are the 0.1%, then hello, thank you for watching. Then you don't need to. Don't stress about it. But the next point is consistency. Now, this was a massive one when I first started, because I didn't even realize I was doing this until it was brought to my attention years later. But with anything, if you want to get better at a job, fuck it, let's go with this. If you want to get better at an instrument, get better at a sport, get better at a craft, you need to do it every single day. What is it they say? You need to put 10,000 hours into something to become a professional at it, or to become an expert. Yeah, that applies with everything, like literally everything. You need to be consistent with it. If you're going to the gym 2-3 days a week, and then think of it like this: you go into the gym 2 to 3 times a week, and you're killing it for that 2 hours. Okay, there are 23 hours left. No, there's not. God damn it. Okay, so let's try this again. So you go to the gym and you do a kick-ass 2-hour session. There are still 22 hours in the day that you need to account for to hold yourself accountable for. Now, we're not talking about accountability, even though that is, in a sense, what is needed here, but it's also about consistency. Work hard in the gym, but you need to bring that consistency and that hard work outside of the gym, and that's with anything. You need to put in the hours. So you need to, if you say you're going to train 3 to 4 times a week, train 3 to 4 times a week. Don't train twice a week and then 1 time a week and then the next 3, and then do like 6 days a week the next week and think, I'm doing good. No, be consistent. And this applies with like sort of the exercises that you do in the gym as well. So be consistent with them, because that's how you're going to make progress in there. But like I said, it's with anything. Consistency is key, and the people that make it in life and the people that succeed in achieving their goals, the people that don't, is consistency. Can you take getting beaten down to the floor 5 times and getting up that 6th? That's what counts. If you get beaten down, no matter how bad, you get back up. This is the 3rd time I've tried to make a podcast, not today, in general, and this is the 3rd YouTube channel that I've tried to make. Each one, my mindset used to be shit about this sort of stuff. So this is the 3rd time of each that I'm trying to do, and have I stopped doing it because I've failed 2 other times? No, I'm doing it. I'm going to try at least, put in 110%, because at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for. That's all we can do. So just make sure with everything you're doing, you're being consistent and you're applying that to everything. Because you can achieve in the gym, but you need to take that outside of the gym. And this is the same with anything. If you're working, you're trying to progress in work and get a promotion, great. You may be kicking ass in the gym. Do the extra hours outside. Maybe your boss needs stuff done that they can't do, and you've got a day off. Oh, boss, I'll do that for you. I'll spend 2 hours, just 2 hours doing it. Even if you don't complete it, you've made his job a hell of a lot easier, and you've made that impression, and you've shown up, and you've done it. You've been consistent, and that's how you're going to succeed. That's how you're going to win, and that's how you're going to achieve the goals that you need to achieve. So the next one is the complete opposite, patience. So this is a massive one when it comes to, especially to new beginners. If you're looking to join the gym or sort of get into this industry to either gain muscle, lose weight, anything like that, you need to understand that it's not going to be an 8-week process and then you're going to be instantly shredded or fucking Ryan Terry. It does not work like that. Weight loss is a little bit easier because yet you can lose a drastic amount of weight in 16-20 weeks. Your body can cope with that. Burning fat is a lot easier for your body because it doesn't have to create this fat. It's already there. All it needs to do is just expend excess to burn fat. Well, expend the excess fat that you don't use to burn it. Calories in versus calories out, that's a different topic. But building muscle is a little bit harder, a little bit tricky because your body needs to create that muscle mass from somewhere. This happens through consistently overloading workouts, consistent training, heavy compound exercises, and a structured workout plan. And it basically tears down muscle fibers, and then your body repairs them, and they come back stronger. Hence why if you stick to doing 10 sets, 10 reps of 60 kilos for 4 sets for 2 months, you're not going to see any progression, any growth, because your body's not, you're not putting your body under new loads, you're not overloading it. So the idea of that is to, if you've lifted 4 sets of 10 reps at 60 kilos, great, do 4 sets, 12 reps at 60 kilos, or increase the weight, or increase the reps, go to 15. I would recommend staying in the sort of 8 to 12 range, but understand that this is a long game. It's not going to give you overnight, or chances are, if you're looking to build any good form of physique, if you're really new to training, your muscle growth is going to be a lot better than someone like me, for example, who's been training for 3 years or more, like properly, and that's great, that's fantastic. But you need to understand that this is all about consistency, changing your lifestyle, and doing it and just thinking of the end. You can't be thinking of, I want it now, I want to lose weight now, because that's when you get into restricting calories by like 1,000, getting into 1,000 calorie deficit, and really screwing your metabolism up. So take it slow, take it easy, be a bit sensible with how you're looking at this, and just remember that patience is going to be a big driving force behind you getting what you want and being just a few millimeters off what you want, because you need to understand, you need to be able to see the end picture, see where you want to be, and then getting there. That process could take 10 months, that process could take 10 years, who knows, but you have to be working towards the end goal with that end goal in mind as the result, not tomorrow, okay? You're not going to lose 10 kilos tomorrow, you're not going to be 10 pounds heavier in muscle, or be able to bench 100 kilos tomorrow. You've got to work for it, you've got to be patient, and this ties in with everything. You've got to have the mindset, the consistency, you've got to resist the temptations of the sort of what other people are doing to you and what other people's mentalities are towards you, and then look at your end goal and think, right, that's what it is. If my end goal is to run a marathon, okay, don't sign up for the marathon this year, sign up for it next year. Even if the marathon's 8 months away, give yourself that extra 12 months to practice for it. I personally did this. I did a half marathon in 2014. I signed up for it about 2 months before. Didn't train a single day. Did it. I did the half marathon. I did the 13.5 miles, but fuck, I completely destroyed myself. My lower back was in pain. I didn't know what I was doing. And even though it was an enjoyable experience, I didn't enjoy it at the time. Do I regret it? No, but I would have preferred the extra year to plan it and get myself ready for it, because you want to be the best. When you get to it, you want to be the best version of yourself to be able to perform it, to do it. If you want to perform a marathon, train for a year and 8 months, just so your body is accustomed, you are gonna smash it. If you want to build muscle, fair enough, just overload every workout and think of the end goal. Don't think tomorrow's going to be there. Don't take steroids. Well, don't take steroids just because you can't be bothered to wait. And don't buy into these fad diets and fat burning pills because you think it's going to give you a six-pack or a flat stomach or get rid of those love handles or muffin tops in 4 weeks. It is not, okay? It won't. And that's, although this is going to be like topic number 6, so we're going to have a lot more. But topic number 6 that I'll quickly want to touch on is fat loss reduction. Now, when I first started training, I wanted a six-pack, and I did 60 to 100 push-ups, sit-ups, every single night, just to try to get a six-pack, because I thought that would burn fat around my abs. And this is where a lot of people have this misconception, and I understand it. If you want to build muscle, you have to train that certain body part. If you want to put a muscle in your arms, or you want to build your quads up, or you want a bigger chest, you have to train those specific muscle parts, or muscle groups. So you would just assume, well, if I want to burn fat in those areas, wouldn't it be the same? No, body fat reduction is complete bullshit. Body fat reduction isn't bullshit. Body fat reduction in certain areas is bullshit, because you can't do bicep curls and expect body fat or fat to be burning from your biceps. You can't expect to be doing abdominal crunches and expecting to get a six-pack. You can't be doing a bench press and expecting to get a serrated chest. It doesn't work like that. You could be doing your legs, you could be doing squats and burning fat from your triceps or your arms. You could be doing a bench press and burning fat from your stomach. It's fat reduction happens as a whole. So this is you. When you burn fat, it goes down as a whole. It doesn't specifically target certain areas. So if you're under the mindset that, if you're under the mindset of thinking, well, I'm going to do a ton of crunches to burn a load of fat and burn a load of calories, you're actually doing crunches. Your abdominals are one of the smallest muscle groups in your whole entire body, so they require a lot less calories to repair than, let's say, your quads or your legs, which are the biggest muscle part group in your body. So actually, if you want to get a six-pack, the quickest way to do it is just to squat every single day. Legs being the biggest muscle group, they require a lot more calories, therefore your calorie expenditure is a lot higher, so therefore you're more likely to be in a caloric deficit, which results in weight loss and fat loss. So that was just kind of a quick thing that I wanted to touch on, because that's something that I massively made a mistake on, and I wasted countless days, nights, years doing that, until I came to the conclusion that maybe it's not for the best. And this brings me now, which was our 6th, which is now our 7th, onto our 7th and final point. If I don't think of anything else throughout this, which seems to be doing quite a lot lately, is don't compare yourself to others. So it's very easy to do this, and I still do this to somewhat. So like I said, I'm dieting at the moment. Not dying, I'm dieting. I feel like I'm dying. But I'm dieting at the moment, and I'm doing a summer shredding competition for Christian Guzman's... Jesus Christ. I'm dieting down for Christian Guzman's Summer Shredding 2018 show that's being hosted in America. Now, I've been looking at a lot of the other contestants and their Instagram posts, and they're making a lot more weight loss than I am, and it's easy for me to sit there and compare myself to that. Like, I'm averaging about half a kilo. I'm averaging about a kilo a week. Some people are averaging 1.5. But they're 90 kilos and a 6 foot. I'm 5'3" and I weigh 62 kilos. So you can understand, it's not going to be the same for everyone. Everyone's circumstance is completely different. If someone's losing more weight than you, why? Are they larger than you? Are they putting in more work than you? Are they kicking ass more in the gym? Are they giving it 110%? Are they making healthier lifestyle choices? Are they controlling what they eat outside of the gym and you're not? Think of things like this. Are they sponsored by a meal company? Are they richer than you? Can they afford more? Can they afford better foods? They have a gym locally, a lot closer to them than you do. If someone's training 5 times a week, but the gym's right around the corner for them, and you're training 3 times a week, but your gym is 4 miles away, a half an hour car journey, well, of course they're going to be able to get to the gym more than you because they have that accessibility. You don't. If someone's losing more weight than you, are they bigger than you? Is their overall body mass larger than yours? So therefore, their percentage of weight loss is going to be a lot higher than yours. Like in my case, it's someone putting on more muscle than you, but you are outperforming them. Everything. You're spending more time in the gym. You're overloading more. Maybe they've got better genetics than you, and you just have to come to the realization that they are genetically gifted and you aren't, and you're going to have to put in that work to keep up, and they don't. You can't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20. If you are overweight and you keep looking on Instagram at people that have six-pack and that shredded, and you're thinking, oh, why aren't I like that, or why can't I get to that? Well, what you don't see is the countless hours they put in the gym, the control they have over their diet, how they do everything in moderation, and it's not just a fad thing for them. And so you need to understand that everyone's circumstances are different. Everyone's bodies are different. Genetically, you are different to everybody else. Therefore, you will lose weight, put on weight, lose fat, and gain fat different to other people. You may hold a lot more fat in your abdominals. Someone may hold a lot more fat in their legs, giving their legs a bigger appearance and their waist a little bit smaller. Well, you may think, well, we're the same. Why don't we look the same? Genetics, bone structure, everything. There are 1,000,001 reasons why you cannot compare yourself to one other person or someone else. But the main one is because they aren't you. You can't have someone's physique. You can't have someone's life. You can't be someone else. The best you can do is being the best version of yourself. And I think that's the most important thing. Because fuck everyone else. Fuck them. This is your life. Be you. Be the best version of you that you can be. This got really deep. I feel like Gary Vee all of a sudden. I've been watching a lot of his podcasts lately, and kind of this is where I got the idea to do this from and start this up again. So thank you, Gary Vee, if you're watching. Yeah. Oh, secret tip number 8: buy a shit ton of sugar-free Monsters. If you're not watching on YouTube, I have next to me like a can of Monster Ultra, and this has saved my life during prep so many times. Just in general, they are like 11 calories. Fun fact as well, if anything ever says 0 calories, it's not because they have 0 calories, it's that anything below 15 calories can technically be classed as a 0 calorie product. Hence why Monsters have 11 calories in them, but they're technically classed as 0 calorie. Fun fact for you. But back to not comparing yourself to others, just remember that everyone started where you are starting now. They've just followed and adapted to all 7 of these points. They've made the lifestyle change, and they've changed their mindsets. They've created the support group around them. They stick to their goals. As soon as they set something, they don't let anything deter them. They're patient. So you'll get there. You just can't compare your 2 days into weight loss or into your fitness journey to someone's 10,000 hours into weight loss, or their 10,000 hours into sort of this whole experience, because you're not the same. You'll never be the same as anyone else, but the best you can do is just be the best version of yourself. And like I said, that's the most important thing, because your friends, your family, they're the ones that are going to be spending time with you, not with these other people on Instagram that are shredded. So just be the best version that you can, and trust me, the reward at the end of that will be a lot more beneficial and a lot better than looking at someone's six-pack on Instagram and thinking, I want that a lot. But that's covered all my points, and that's where we want to end today's podcast. I wanted to keep this below 45 minutes, which we've done. We're currently nearly on 39. I don't know what the YouTube video says, so we'll have to figure that out. But I hope these 7 points have helped you. I know we've been on a bit of a ramble, but this is the reason why I want to do these podcasts, because if I tried to put this in video format on YouTube, I don't feel like I have this leeway and this sort of accessibility that I can sort of go on these tangents and have a chat, because at the end of the day, you're listening to a podcast for information, but in some cases to cure boredom, but it's a form of audio. So, and it's just there, and I think this is a lot more a lot better of a platform to do this on. I mean, obviously there's going to be a YouTube video, but I was tempted to make a video on YouTube called like 7 things I've learned through 1500 days of exercising. But then, like, if I go on YouTube and I create a 40-minute video, and I don't have a sort of SoundCloud version to provide to people, then chances are you're not going to watch it all, and you're not going to get the information that I do. And I kind of want to make this just not serious. If I want to go off on a tangent, I want to be able to go off on a tangent, and I want you guys to be able to enjoy that and learn something new from that. Because I added 2 new points today that I didn't even think of when I was writing this list down. That now that I think of it, I don't know how I forgot them, because they're obvious now thinking about it. And that's the sort of stuff that I enjoy. And if I do this on YouTube, I'm gonna have to script the video and all this shit, and it doesn't give me a chance to be as sort of wavy in a sense. I don't have to follow a straight line. I can sort of be a bit of a zigzag. But yeah, so again, I'm going to try and release these every Monday. I'm not entirely sure what the next week's topic's going to be on. I think I'll kind of want to try and do it on sort of confidence in the gym and dealing with negativity, because that's something else that I kind of dealt with in sense of the negativity, not so much confidence. But we'll figure out. I'm going to get a lot planned and a lot more released by them. What I will say is, if you do want to lose weight and you're sort of, well, if you're watching this on YouTube, I released a video the other week, Weight Loss 101, link down in the description, link to my website as well, where I've got 2 free programs that you can download on there, that have like a structured workout plan, cardio program, ab program, specific for anyone that wants to lose a bit of weight and get ready for summer. So SoundCloud, if you're watching, head over to the YouTube channel. You don't have to watch this again because you've already watched it, unless you want to watch it again. In that case, you've spent nearly 2 hours of your life doing that, and I fucking appreciate that. But just click the links in the description just for the free stuff, just to help you guys out. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this last 40 plus minutes. It's been a journey. As a first part, Jesus Christ, I think in the next podcast I kind of need to stop with, I think it's down to nerves more than anything, and the fact that I'm kind of trying to speak too fast. But I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next Monday, or you'll hear me next Monday. But remember, just keep all these points in mind, guys. And if you are looking to sort of go on this journey, feel free to send me an email, or just leave a comment on the YouTube video. And just, if you have any questions, ask. But remember, you've got to start from somewhere. Everyone does. Just stick at it. Stick at it, and you'll get to where you need to be, where you want to be, and when you need to be there. So, until next time, have a good one. Signing out. Peace!